Nice to meet you.
So did you guys see any of it?
We didn't get your episode.
We didn't get your episode.
Oh, they don't want to give our episode out. That's what it is.
They said it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But we hear it's fantastic.
Yes.
It's the greatest thing, greatest part of television that's ever been
You
made.
are such a liar.
I'm just really good at my job.
Okay.
But I did, so at the end of, not your first episode with Kate Walsh, but so can you tell us a little bit about your character from the little preview? You seem like a kind of, I don't know, you seem like a really anxious, quiet, unnerved
Yeah.
kid.
Yes, well, I think that it all comes from Robbie has this sort of like sixth sense where he, let's just say he has more knowledge about, he seems to have more knowledge about things that are gonna happen in the future, and that is really to him like a big responsibility because he doesn't really know how to approach these feelings, you know, if they're real or not real, or should he tell someone, not tell someone, and that's where it comes from. And especially, I think you're talking about the episode with Kate, right?
Yeah.
Where he's really, well, he just has a big, he's been wanting to tell her something for a very long time, that he feels connected to her through her father, and I think it's just a very important moment for him to just find a connection with someone else. Yeah.
Could you describe your scene since we didn't see it?
It is. I'm interested in your network thing, by the way. This is your own company, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll ask you about
Okay.
that.
Real
I am. I don't. Okay. I'm just interested. We have an extremely dark and twisted relationship that I'm not allowed to tell you anything more about than that. But it's a little scary, and it takes a little while to figure it out. We go back and forth between two languages, and it's
What languages?
French and English. He's bilingual.
We're French, actually, in the...
Okay.
So they have two. I think they basically have two different lives going on. There's the life that it looks like and the life that it really is.
So what's it like with the show? It's just two characters the entire time, for the most part. So is it just you guys like kind of sitting down at a table and trying to hash out lines, and that's, I mean, it's got, like, usually with television you've got multiple people that you can bounce stuff off of.
Are you explaining
Two,
that?
it's got to be hard.
Yeah, I mean, there were good. I thought there were good. I mean, there were things that were really helpful in terms of like you didn't have to worry about anything else but to connect with the person that was in front of you and using the words that were written, and there was nothing else that could take you out of it. But the thing that was hard is keeping up the energy, because when you don't have anything else to do or anything else to concentrate on, when you have like 7-minute takes, you gotta keep it up.
Is it single camera or?
No, they were doing multiple cameras in both angles at once.
That's got to be painful.
Well,
Single camera.
No, it's just because they had 3 parts: they had appetizer, main course, and dessert, and we tried to film through those parts all at once.
It was 25 pages of dialogue just at a table. They're doing different angles and sizes, and at the same time, and I really like that because they're doing Noah that way and me this way, so you're getting the scene as it's happening. But it's just the words. It's just about the words. It's not about anything else.
Was there any room for improv?
No.
That dialogue was got me. I mean, to me it was like watching a stage play. That's
Exactly,
how much
yeah.
dialogue
Yeah.
you guys had.
Yeah.
The writing is very intense in this thing.
Yeah.
And did you pick that up when you got the script? And was that something that you brought to the scene? Because I mean, some of that stuff was intense.
Well, he's a great writer,
Yeah.
Olivia. So the whole, because there's nothing going on but the words. The reason to do this is because of the writer, and it's written sort of perfectly, but it's difficult. It's complicated. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out his writing. There was a whole thing about the particular rhythm of it that help was necessary. I guess.
It's fast pace.
Yeah, there's a lot of going on underneath, but you need to move through it and yet have all that stuff really going on. It was hard.
Because there's so much dialogue and it's just you two at the table. Is it restrictive in the sense that if sometimes you can act and you can do a movement that says a lot without saying anything, but in this one, you just, it's like us at this table.
Yeah, you
Let
can't just
somebody-
get up and like.
Somebody grab something, just-
Yeah.
No, it had to be all within this particular framework, the framework of the shot, and which was pretty much static. Not all of it, but a lot of it was, and the framework of the conversation. So no, there was no room for messing around.
Let me ask you, what was it like working with Allie?
I mean,
Come on, you're sitting down with Allie.
This is why you should not have been doing it with
with
me.
Ali Sheedy. And I'm sorry, but you're a little young, so I don't know if you grew up on Breakfast Club like I did. But, I mean, you sit down with Ali Sheedy. It's like,
Ali Sheedy.
Oh my god. This is why this was a mistake. Well, see? No, it's doing all the interviews for me. I feel so bad for him now.
no, not at all. It's just like it's just so. She was just so like outgoing and just like so nice to me and easy that it was just like. I mean, there was no like barrier or walls to. I mean, they all came down really quickly. We were able to just really connect and have fun and work together, and yeah.
I want to step back a minute. How much time do you guys have to prep before you shoot to figure out that relationship between all of your characters? Because you do have everything seems so far. Each set of relationships is very different from each other.
Right.
And how long does it take to kind of move from one into the other? And how much time did you have working with the other person before you shot?
I was lucky because I did most of my work on this, and I know you did too, before we all got together.
Okay.
Then there was a week. They were shooting, but I got here early enough so that Noah and I had at least 2 days of rehearsal together.
Okay.
And then we had time that we could just spend together not rehearsing, which for me was the most important part, because I needed to have a relationship with Noah, and that was when, even coming out and looking at the show and all of the work that was happening, he was the most important thing to me, because I needed him to trust me. The relationship is really complicated and dark, and he had to trust me. And from the minute I met him, I fell like completely in love with him. So that part of it was perfectly fine and great. There was not going to be any problems in there. But there had to be a level of comfort and trust underneath, and mutual respect. And I really respect Noah as an actor and in general. So it wasn't like, I've been doing this for a long time and he just started. It was sort of like, this is my colleague, and we're going to make this work somehow. And then it wasn't difficult. It wasn't that difficult. It wasn't. So that was the biggest thing.
What's it like when two actors find out, or you're going to be playing with somebody or whatever? How long does that bonding process take? And the reason I'm asking that is that once the bonding process happens, then how beautiful is it to actually work there?
The bonding process can take, it depends on the other actor. This was a really fast bond.
And sometimes it goes through the work, just talking about the work together. But it's also, like Ali said, it was also spending time together, not talking about the work, and just like, just getting a level of comfort between us and not studying. Just hanging out, going to the beach, and that was, it was. Yeah. No, it didn't take a lot to...
No, but and then the bond really is really great because you're working on this thing, and the only other person who knows what it was like to actually work on that scene is the other person who's in the scene with you. It's like a singular experience. And then sometimes with actors, I have the relationship, I'll keep that relationship in my life forever. And then sometimes it's somebody that you just don't really connect with again, but I'm going to be like watching over him. So he won't be able to get away from me.
That's a good problem.
I don't
No, don't turn red on this one, but he's a upcoming punk.
Yeah.
So,
that's the reason why she's got him on speed dial.
That's right.
So that'll be
No,
a little
it's the
added
same.
bonus.
No, it's the same age as my daughter, so that is really
Then your
like
daughter's
the
really
world.
excited, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she is. Noah's gonna have an enormous career, and I just want to make sure that he is happy and stays on his path and doesn't have too many dark episodes. So that I will be inserting myself into his experience as much as possible until it's annoying.
Okay.
Anyway, Noah just got a really cool job.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Tell them what you
I'm doing this pilot called Tyrant, set up at FX, the creators and producers of Homeland.
Oh,
doing this
nice.
show called Tyrant. So yeah, going to shoot the
and say
pilot.
who's directing it.
David Yates is directing it.
You're just
No,
It's
no.
like
just
a
that
huge,
guy.
really cool job.
Yeah.
You know, when he just worked with Jeremy Irons, so no big deal.
Well, have you guys heard anything from the producers? Because what I was told, they haven't figured out a real format yet. So have you heard anything about that?
I didn't hear anything, and I got some info over here from you. So
The only thing I know is that it's airing October 9th, and all the episodes will be available on demand starting on that date, and then they're airing them two at a time, I think. But yeah, I have no.
Well, what I'm getting at is, I was told they didn't know whether, remember Love American Style and Love Boat? Those shows have different stars every week. They had different actors.
Right.
So there wasn't a regular cast.
Right.
So this one is.
No, this one has an end.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
was gonna say,
It's
I'm
not-
with
it's
you
a-
guys. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's a circle.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
place,
yeah,
everybody's
Yeah,
related to
it's
one
not going to
person.
come back another season.
No.
He wrote it as basically it's almost written like a play. It's a 5-hour movie, and at the end there's no way for it to continue.
No.
That's all we can say.
Everybody dies.
No.
And then the meteor crashes down.
I wouldn't be surprised if something really bad happens at the end, but there's that sense of foreboding in Kate's first episode that I think just kind of trailers with Cheyenne's character with the piano player. And I don't know if, I get a sense that something really bad's gonna happen at the end, and I'm like, I want to know when I don't want to know.
Right.
And I fear for you in your last episode now.
You should.
Okay.
How long did you guys take to shoot it? Was it one day?
It was an episode a day.
An episode a
It was
day?
an episode a day, so it was
That's-
24 pages a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
long
almost
day.
It's a long-
like a
very-
soap opera
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Would you
But-
do something like this again in that same sort of
In a
hype-
heartbeat.
In a heartbeat?
Yeah, it was this writing in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Can we talk about Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
So how often do people go, oh my god, I know you from Breakfast Club, and then
Just about every day.
every day?
Yeah.
Does it ever get annoying?
No.
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 Do you talk to any of the old cast?
Actually, yes and no. Like sometimes we cross paths or.
Well, you guys did that anniversary show was it Chicago?
Wait,
With
which one?
Kevin Smith, right?
Oh, we did a thing with the Kevin Smith. That was in New York.
Oh, that was in New York, right? Okay.
We did that, and then they had a tribute to John
That was
Hughes
the
at the
whole-
Oscar. I mean, they have stuff for Breakfast Club, and we'll like see each other, but everybody's got different lives.
You guys don't just get together and have lunch every night.
No, nobody. No,
I'm kidding,
we
I'm
don't.
kidding.
But it's kind of a strange old bond that. Oh, cool. It's a strange bond to have with a group of people.
When was the last time you watched it?
I watched it a few years ago with my kid and her film class in high school.
I mean,
wow.
there was a showing
That's gotta be
this summer at the ArcLight in Sherman Oaks.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, so they did like an 80s weekend. It was like
Oh,
you can
cool.
come watch the Breakfast Club. It was like sitting in a room full of people, and you're like, all right, you were with people that understand this movie. and then the fire alarm went off, and we couldn't watch the end, and everyone.
Are you serious?
Yes. It was
Oh, that is so crazy.
Does your daughter look back at it and go, Mom, what were you doing?
No.
Does she understand the impact though? Like
She waited a long time to see it. Because
Really?
she waited a really long time because she had heard about it, and her thing is just, I just don't want you to be embarrassing in something. Always.
and
So
you
she
got the
put
most
it off, and then she finally saw it with that class, and
that was
when
the first time she saw it?
That was the first time she saw it,
Wow.
and I was talking to them, and afterwards, like she came up and she was like, "Okay, you did really good. I like that character. It's okay. Everything's good." So, yeah, but she waited till high school to see it.
That's a long time to wait.
Yep, she was a little nervous about the
How
whole
old
thing.
were you when you first saw it?
I actually saw it. I think it was a year ago with my parents. Because, yeah.
I'm so old. I saw the theaters when it came out.
We're old. No, it's 19.
I'm kidding.
Thank you guys so much.
Great, thank you so
Thanks.
much.